So this China thing, since this China manufacturers have released this information, it has blown up with people going in and buying stuff from these websites. People clowning on TikTok, man. I'm looking at all the content, and it's some truth stuff on there. It's some other stuff that somebody's saying on the end, but
so like I
said,
to the regular places to get it. They going to these manufacturers.
Man, forget going directly to the vendor anymore. And then what America need to do, we need to start being we can't match what they do over here and make them kind of clothes over here like that in that many masses, but forget going to LV and all those, man. Them folks don't.
Obviously now they have.
I guess you still have to like, are these the real vendors, or these? That's the only thing. Are you getting the real vendors?
It's making it look like it. So what do people care?
Me on my phone with China buying 90 pairs of Jordans for $8 to sell on Norwood Flea Market by the Easter weekend.
Oh my God. Wow. That's messed up.
What's this next one to say? When you order off $2 retro Jordans and Nikes arrive from China warehouse. Look at them shoes.
When your order of oh my God, I got the same
Look
music. Wow. Oh my gosh. Look at that.
What's the next one? Wait.
Ordering four pairs of Nike for a total of $19.95 directly from the Chinese warehouse. Wow. Wow. That's messed up.
Wait. So listen what this guy's saying about this though. Listen to what he's saying about how the brands are responding.
Heating up fast.
$1 shoe.
90 cents. 90 cents.
iPhone 14 Pro Max.
来考虑到的内置网络的联合，支持 WiFi。
Trusted supplies of Google Box.
Brands are finally responding. The viral TikToks coming out are getting millions of views and loads of customers. Videos are showing what looks like real Nike shoes, Timberlands, Apple products, all being sold straight from the source for a fraction of the price. So the real question is, are these real? Are we being ripped off? Or are some brands just panicking now that the veil's been lifted? A few brands have come out swinging. Lululemon was quick to deny a viral TikTok showing cheap leggings supposedly made in their factory. They said that only 3% of their stuff is made in China, and the factory in the video was not one of theirs. Birkenstock went even harder. They said that 100% of their shoes are made in Europe, mostly Germany, and that TikTok videos showing cheap Birkenstock clogs from China are fake. They're not a supplier. They don't even associate themselves with China at all. They got the videos taken down. And then there's Louis Vuitton, who proudly states they don't make anything in China.
Milled in one place, dyed in another country, spun and knitted in a third country, then in pieces, and then sent to Italy or sent to France, and where it's stitched together, and therefore wherever the last stop was and the last bit was, they can put it was made in France.
But interesting.
I honestly don't believe any of what those brands were saying. They're coming back in and they're saying basically they're lying. That's not what we do. We're doing. I don't believe none of that. Every country goes through China because you can go in real low, make a crap ton of money with very minimal very minimal investment. Nobody's going to do the highest investments to charge the highest bag. Why is it? I can go. One bag can cost them $50 to make, and we can sell it for $1,500. Why would we go and say, okay, well, we're going to spend, let it cost $900 to make, send it around the world, let them different places put it together, and then we can make $600. That's bull. I don't believe that. That's a lie.
It's natural that they would want to come and defend, their countries. Of course, they don't want you to know this, or what they're saying is false. Yeah, because they're being exposed. Interesting.
Interestingly, most brands have stayed silent. Nike, Timberland, Apple, Milwaukee Power Tools,
because they already know.
So many others. Nothing. Crickets. No official statements, no press releases, just a whole lot of silence. And that's interesting because Nike shoes are made in China, so are Timberlands.
Been over there.
And your precious iPhone fully assembled in a Chinese mega factory.
That ain't
Milwaukee Power Tools is a Chinese-owned company, manufactured in China.
But I just thought about it. That's our fault. Like with the shoes and all this stuff, that's our fault. That's our, I mean, not me, our fault, but that's the country's fault. We could have, we needed factories over here. We wanted to want these cheap margins, a lot of money. And these people, one thing I'm learning more and more about China. China has no inkling of loyalty to anyone. You should never have a Jordan come out. This even back in the day. Should never have a Jordan come out and then there's a replica of it. How disrespectful is that? That shoe wasn't made in America, that replica. It wasn't made in Italy. It wasn't made in Africa. It was made right in them same factories.
Well, that's why they allow us to have their factories and stuff over there so they can emulate it.
Yeah. We'll give you the cheap, but we're going to play you on the same time to make our own money.
Yep.
I know. These brands don't deny their products are made in China. They just don't seem to want you to connect the dots between the factory they're made in your wallet. The truth is, most of the world's products come from China, or countries that work hand in hand with China, like Vietnam, Indonesia, Bangladesh, Malaysia. You might think you're buying something that's not made in China, but China probably shipped the materials there in the first place. And that includes Louis Vuitton and all these other companies. The global supply chain is more connected than you think, and China sits at the center of it. Are we finally seeing behind the curtains, or is China trying to trick us?
No, I don't think they're trying to trick us. I believe that
it's too much stuff over there.
You probably do have a mixture of people that's coming out that were already selling fake crap, and they trying to make look like it's a secret, and they got the real stuff too. But I believe that you're gonna have that, and you're gonna have the truth of people that's really working with the factories. And the thing is, the crazy thing is, people still gonna be walking in Louis Vuitton buying a $80, $2,000 bag.
I just don't see why they would, come this far and then not be honest about it. Why would they make all that up?
Yeah, because with this, they're like, forget you. No, because remember the whole thing is when they making all this stuff, they get very little profit margin making all this stuff. Exactly. But now if they say we skip all the people that we making this for and just make it directly for you, so this ain't $80. Instead of we getting $5 out of this 80, we get the whole 80 come straight to you.
Exactly.
See, let me see. It was another sister. She was saying she has a, tell me what you think.
I see people making lists of who they want to order from China, and I need everybody to slow down. Yes, China is spilling the tea, but me, as being a business owner who has ordered from China for the past 6 years, let me tell you a couple of things. And the first thing is, not all factories are the same.
But also, you see how
I've heard that.
But also I had this other thing too. Why is Alibaba and DHgate on the list? People should have known these have always been good sources to buy certain things. I mean, I wouldn't go buy no shoes and stuff like from Alibaba and DHgate. Me personally, I don't know. DHgate had some super replicas though one time, but it make it seem like black people just got privy to some of those sites. Some sites always been out there, but now some of these other ones might be the real deal. But
only one I know is Alibaba, and that's
but why are they on the list?
Stuff I don't know.
People been going to like DHgate and stuff and buying stuff.
But I didn't know for Alibaba sold replicas. I didn't know that. I was looking for other stuff when I was on there.
Yeah, Alibaba does, but DHgate is the one you go in and find some completely identical LVs or some shoes.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Same. So yes, they can get on here and they can make claims that they do this, that, and the third, and the quality is this, that, and the third, and it may not be. Luxury brands order from certain factories because they want a certain quality. And so just because a factory says that they have this design doesn't mean that they have the same quality that the luxury designer ordered from. You have to be careful of that. I've learned firsthand, not all factories are the same. The second thing that you need to know is you need to get an agent. Don't just start ordering from China all willy-nilly. You need an agent that's going to get your stuff inspected, make sure it's up to par, send you pictures, send you videos, do all that stuff before they ship it off to you. I have an agent that I've been using for the past 6 years. That's how I've been in business and been ordering the stuff for my boutique. So before you start ordering from these factories, please hear me out. Now, if you want to know more, because I have a long history of this, I've had a business for the past 6 years, give me a follow. I can make more videos.
Wow, I did not know that.
One last one. One last one for the road, though. One last one for the road. You get that Rolex.
3 Rolexes. Wow.
Wait. Do I have another one? I do. This is my last one. I swear. He gonna get her that Chanel bag.
Wow.
Yo.
I wonder if people, let's say a man is getting his woman a bag or something. I wonder, is the woman gonna care, where it came from? Is it gonna matter if it's a replica, or is it gonna matter that it's the same?
Well, I guess the key start would be to ask you for you to answer that question yourself. Would you care?
I'm not really an LV. I mean, my thing is, I want it to be quality and look like the bag that I already have.
What if I go and the bag that I got you, if I went got a one that looked just like one like it, you wouldn't have a clue a difference. What would you say?
If I didn't know,
care?
what could I say?
Okay.
I mean, I really wouldn't care. If I don't know, what can you say?
And the era has changed so much when it comes to, let's say, I'm going to say replica versus real. The real stuff by the manufacturer look 1,000. It should be the exact same match bag. It shouldn't be nothing different about it. Not a stitch, anything. But I remember when they used to make replicas, and it was a replica.
You could tell.
Because that string is coming from the fabric. You be like, ain't nobody, good and damn well. You don't see no Gucci, no string coming out of Gucci.
Oh my God! I remember I bought my mama. Me and my brothers had chipped in. I had got my mama a replica LV bag.
Y'all had chipped in on a replica?
They didn't know.
How much they give you?
I don't even remember.
That'll tell me the truth.
I don't even remember how much we all went in on the bag. And my brother was like, "You gonna get an LV bag for this tree?"
Which one brother said that?
I wonder, was it my brother Billy?
Yeah. Stuart probably like, yeah, go. He'll say, yeah, you can go.
I'm thinking it was my brother Billy. And then my mama said something happened to something either fell off the bag or something. It was so funny. And they were just.
What you mean fell off the bag?
I don't remember if it was the handle or something changed to let her know that was not one from the LV store. Because Mama's always gotten her bags from the LV store.
I know your mama. She probably was working. Was she working at Saks then? Even if she working in Parisian?
Probably. I don't know. I don't know which one she was working at. She's never worked at Saks. It was either Parisians.
She was in Saks Phillips. She was in the mall.
I know, but not the store Saks. No, it was either Parisians. Was it not Nordstrom?
Nordstrom's. Yeah.
What was the other one? Take you to Parisians. What was it after Parisians?
Nordstrom. I thought it was Nordstrom's after Parisian.
Maybe it was. Lord and Taylor. She worked at Lord and Taylor. It was Lord and Taylor first. Then it was Parisians.
I could see your mom. I could see
It was funny.
Listen, I could see Mama Shirley in there with that bag, excited that y'all got her, and then she compared that same damn bag against one of the ones that's really sitting on the shelf. Look, I could see her like this. Look.
It was funny. It did not look like the ones that these people are showing on their It don't look like those. It didn't look like those.
Because you got to think the quality. If this was back in the day too, they weren't on par with the quality. The quality of a replica.
I got it from the man that I knew was selling the fake bags.
Going Jing G.
I had me a couple too, but you really couldn't tell them a something. And then my the Gucci I had, y'all, the little string.
Gucci got a lump in
the
that.
string started coming out, like you said. The string started coming out. I was like, yeah.
Listen, I think to me, but it's just like jewelry, Joy. It's like jewelry. It's like jewelry, bro.
Well, I do. I don't really play about that
because
I like my real gold, my real rose gold.
I mean, gold. No, I wouldn't fake gold because you don't want just. I mean, now they make it so well to where your skin wouldn't turn from gold, but gold is still is relatively inexpensive. But I'm talking about like when you get bust downs and stuff like that, where now you learn that like half these people that are going out with all this jewelry, it's still moissanite jewelry, and it's still jewelry, and it's still
that's diamond, different, yeah.
But it's but see, I don't see nothing wrong with that. I don't see nothing wrong with that.
Well, my thing is this: if you don't have the income to buy all this stuff, and you're putting money, making unwise decisions. I don't think
it's buy the real thing is unwise.
Yeah, I mean, it's to me, it's such a waste of money to spend $15,000 on a bag,
and you don't have $15,000 in land. If you don't have a property
in a savings account to invest, in something else, that's just so crazy.
How many people got big jewelry and they live in an apartment complex?
I don't know.
Country. It's country.
It's not wise. It's just not wise. So now my mindset is completely different about it, y'all.
$15,000 necklace, but then in good and well, we can go have $15,000 in raw land somewhere, something that you can step on. You can see when you see $15,000 look different. $15,000 on your neck and $15,000 on a property look night and day.
And then you have a natural disaster and don't none of that crap mean a hill of beans. I'm just saying, you have to think about it. I think like that. It's like you don't spend $40,000 on this purse, and so many people have so many of them. You can afford it, run it. But at the same time, I don't know how much. Some of those people have investments, maybe others don't. Is it insured? So if you do have a natural disaster, can they insure your bag? Do you get them insured? I mean, I don't know, but I just think but many times people who are not in the financial position to be able to spend $38,000 for a bag.
That is robbery.
How and why would you do that? That's a car.
Yes, it is. That's a nice Tahoe. That's a nice new truck.
That's even land. That's land.
I could go buy 40 acres in places for that.
So I'm just saying, I want to put in the comment section, ladies, would you care if your husband, boyfriend, brought you a replica of a bag that you may have have your eyes set on, or would you rather to save for a bag that you would rather go and order offline from the original designer or Saks, these the major big department stores that you can also order them from? I'm just curious to see what y'all think. And men,
I saw a pastor one time saying,
would you surprise your lady with one and then let her think that I'm just curious to know what y'all gonna say.
Because you got a real shallow one. She come in, you bring it to her. Everything looked like the perfect packaging. Everything looked perfect. It's the item. And let me see the receipt. Boy, no, you got to let her go, bro. That ain't the one for you, bro. All my men out there, if you listen, that ain't the one for you.
It's a new day and age. I'm sorry. Things that mattered and now this, child, please, you better be smart. You better be smart putting your investments in things that you can really turn over and that appreciate and not depreciate. That's for sure.
Man, I just never forget when I got some replica Jordans and that heel was falling off.
Did I know you?
Listen, them Jordans.
This was before my time.
Them Jordans they just they were slightly off on the real ones. And I never forget this Negro in the bank he was just this eye.
I bet he was. I bet he was.
He was alive, but all the time had to do it like this.
Embarrassing. At least you want it to be all together working.
They were but it's just a little bit off. You're like, they look right, but they look a little thinner.
Well, these people are really showing you that they have trouble. I do agree with what this lady has said, and for some reason I feel like I've heard this on another TikTok video, and I know we're wrapping this thing up, is where some people were saying when you order your things, she's absolutely right that you have to be able to, but I know you have to have an agent. She said,
is that for warehouse or your own personal?
I guess warehouse for business. If you're selling, you order stuff from a business, and I don't know it was somebody that I was listening to that had a shop. And that's who mentioned it and said that they got a package and the stuff was it was unbelievable. Rats had eaten all in it. No. I don't remember who I was listening to.
It was real stuff, but what happened was it was the process and who she had went through in China, and because they told her we can do it for half the price, and there was a reason why it was half the price. I remember that.
Could have been.
and that stuff had been crap through away. You couldn't do nothing with it, and I don't think she could get her money back.
Messed up. At least they give you the game on TikTok.
But this is different. With your little $8 and you run into a manufacturer that want to give you money, you be like, oh well, $8, bye bye. But when it comes to thousands and thousands of dollars of different games, so if I was selling a product, no, it's going to have to come. Going to have to line up. All right, y'all.
Well, there you go. Let me know in the comment section, y'all. How y'all feeling about that? What y'all gonna do? You gonna get you some Jordans? You gonna get your wife or girlfriend some designer stuff?
Get your wife or girlfriend? What kind of freaky, kiki stuff you got going on?
I said wife or girlfriend. Some people may be married who watch us, and there's some people who may not be married. That's why I said wife or girlfriend.
Get your wife or girlfriend. What is that?
Anyway, y'all, put it in the comment section. I want to know.
All right.
Love you guys.